Good evening. Welcome to this week's edition of the WayBack Movies Podcast, a show where we review the best and not so best of the 80s and 90s cinema, because really, fuck the 2000s. My name is Steve, and with me on this crazy journey,
Justin.
Doctor. So yeah.
Week 3.
Week 3. We are back.
Yes, sir. Going forward, because we have a little something at the top of the show this week.
Right.
That we're going to try to move forward with when we can. Because we're not going to go every week, but sometimes we go to the cinema.
Occasionally. Me, a lot less than you.
And we see some movies. So if we see a movie, especially if we both see a movie, we're going to give a little mini review. No spoilers. And then we're going to jump back in the WayBack Machine and review our actual movie proper.
Yes.
I say all that to say this, because this week, we both saw Halloween.
Yes. Or
the third Halloween, because there's 3 movies now with that title.
Or we could just take the name from the other one and call it H4O. Because this is the now legit official sequel to the original Halloween. I don't get it, because there was like 10 other ones, but that's cool. So yeah, we both ended up seeing it. I wasn't planning on it, but I couldn't wait, so I ended up actually going to the cinema by myself for the first time. Not something I've ever done before. Not because I'm like, oh god, people are going to notice. Just because I have friends and people like to go to the movies with me. But it was a Friday afternoon. I had nothing else to do, and I'm like, you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to see some Halloween. Yeah. So I did.
So we're going to give a quick review here. No spoilers again, because, well, not just because we don't want to give her spoilers. It's been like 4 days. Since it's come
that's
out,
the other thing.
days.
Yeah, as of this recording, it's only been 4 days, so we don't want to spoil it too early.
No. So what did you think?
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah. You're more of the as you've stated in the last couple weeks. You're more of the horror expert. Out of the two of us.
I'm definitely the horror guy of the two of us, and this is no secret to anyone who knows me. I don't like modern horror movies. I feel that they rely way too heavily on jump scares and shaky cam tactics as opposed to setting a mood and making things a little creepy, even with slasher flicks. So I was pleasantly surprised that the writer and director of this kind of paid homage to the original by setting a tone of, things, there's a lot of, people talking in the foreground, something happening in the background kind of thing, like that Halloween was really, really good at. But it still felt fresh and new and like something somewhat different. So I thought they did a fantastic job, and I hope this is the way we go going forward, because they just announced that they're going to start making a Friday the 13th film. So
I heard LeBron James is producing it.
You know what? He's really good at basketball. I don't know. He's got money.
That's all that matters. Yeah. He's got money.
So yeah, I thought they did an excellent job. I was very pleasantly surprised with it, and it looks as though if this does well, they're actually going to go forward and make some more.
Done and done. It was made for like $5.
And it broke the record for a slasher movie, which I'm not sure is necessarily true, because I don't remember what the opening weekend was for Freddy vs. Jason.
It broke some weird records. It broke the biggest movie with a female lead over this age. Yeah. And then this. It's kind of like baseball, where you get to those really weird stats of well, that's cool, I guess. But yeah, it was made for like $10 million, made like 80 on the weekend, close to 80, and then it's going to make more and more and more.
Actually, wait, Freddy vs. Jason could never have made 80 million, because in its total, it only made like 125, so yeah, that's not possible.
The only movie that had a bigger opening horror-wise was It. Another remake.
Which I didn't like.
So, I guess what we're saying is remake every horror movie, because you're going to make all the money.
In a world where Robert Englund is putting on the Freddy makeup as Freddy Krueger for the Goldbergs, if we can do that, and this goes well, which I think it will, guys, somebody tap the man. Be like, hey, Robert.
One more time.
You want to do this again? Because then I'll get to squeal like a little girl in a movie theater again. And I like to do that. It doesn't happen very often.
I also enjoyed the movie. It was surprisingly jokey joke. But when Danny McBride is one of your co-writers.
Yes. You're gonna have that.
There's gonna be some yucks. Mm-hmm. The kills were surprisingly violent.
Yeah.
For a series that isn't really known.
No, it kind of leaves it
like...
Yeah, it tends to leave it for your imagination, but this was... I mean, it's not like some of the other flicks, but there was some blood in the original, but it was never this overt. But I think we live in a world now where I don't think they can do theater of the mind anymore.
Yeah,
I just don't think it's possible.
They have to show, hey, look at this guy. Oh, he's super dead.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was great. Thought it was neat that they brought the original stuntman back to do some of the Michael Myers stuff.
Yeah, he basically had like one scene with Jamie Lee, and it's like, oh, that's just a nice little bonus there.
And then they like had him do all the breathing and stuff.
Mm-hmm. It was really good. I enjoyed the shit out of it.
So we recommend Halloween 2018.
Yeah, H40.
Because again, you have to be specific.
Well, I mean, I can recommend the original as well.
But that too.
I actually didn't hate the remake either. Rob Zombie's first remake. Let me be very clear, because the sequel was dog shit. But
well, it's because the sequel was, hey Rob, do whatever you want.
Well, yeah, because it made so much money. They were like, here you go. Here, just do anything you want. And it was very much the same thing with Batman Returns. We'll get to that someday. Because I don't like that movie either. Bring on the hate mail. But yeah, it was really good. I liked a lot of what they did. Especially with, actually, I mean the remake, we're still talking about that. My only complaint about the remake is it didn't need to be Halloween.
Yeah.
It was really, like, I liked all the stuff with the kid version of Michael Myers and all that stuff. If you just made it another slasher flick, it would have been so much better and probably would have performed better. It was kind of weird that, like...
Yeah, but then you get the comparisons to Halloween.
Yeah, but, I mean, this is the same thing I thought about the Dawn of the Dead remake. Like, I liked that movie, too, but I'm like, you really didn't need to make this Dawn of the Dead, because you could have just made it a zombie movie in a mall. People are going to make the comparisons, but, you know, like, as long as we're not doing the same thing, nobody's going to shit on the fact that, like, oh, we're remaking it, how dare you?
Well, the problem is you get some of the people going, you should have just remade.
Yeah.
Should have just called it.
That's true. So, I mean, but ironically, considering how fucked up the Halloween franchise has been, I really don't think Rob Zombie fucked it up any more than it already had fucked itself up.
Yeah, it's true. So, recommend Halloween 2018.
Yes.
Jamie Lee was great.
She was.
Badass. Which was good to see.
And Judy Greer was great in it,
and too. Judy Greer
yes.
actually had somewhat of a starring role in a movie.
Yeah.
She wasn't just in like 3 scenes and then goodbye.
She wasn't the funny best friend. So she was really good in it. I liked seeing her that way. More of these roles for her, please. I think she's earned it.
I like that she's, like, secretly slipping into these franchises and everything, strategically placed. Like, oh, I'm just going to be in a couple scenes in the Jurassic Park movies, and a couple scenes in the MCU.
Yeah.
And, oh, look, Halloween, that made a bunch of money, I'm just going to be in that.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man.
Just, like, secretly collecting, like, under the radar, collecting all these checks.
Again, she's earned it. Give it to her. I have no complaints here.
Clever girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Wow, nice Jurassic Park comment brought back.
So yes, Halloween 2018, go see it.
Mm-hmm.
But now,
yes,
we go back.
Yes.
To the 90s.
We jump into the WayBack Machine to technically, as we found out, we were very wrong last week. Technically, September 11th, 1992, but where the rest of us saw it, October 16th, 1992.
One of those. It was released.
It was a film festival movie, which is hilarious.
No, it was a Toronto film festival.
Yeah, it was TIFF.
But I'm sure even way back in 1992, they were still doing midnight.
Yeah, and that's literally what this was. This was a midnight screening of, like...
Funny enough, connection-wise, Halloween 2018 premiered also at TIFF this year.
In their midnight, like, horror
and won
section.
their Midnight Madness award.
I don't think this did.
No.
But it was definitely screened at that point, so that definitely threw me off when I was trying to find the box office for it. I was like, why isn't it there? What the hell's going on? And then I figured it out, because, research. So, that being said, let us jump into the WayBack Machine.
To October 16th.
Yes.
1992.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, here we go. Brace yourselves, folks. that's a rough journey. I'm not gonna lie.
Not as bad as the 80s, but
yeah, it's a little bit further. It's a little bit closer, but not much.
Yes, here we are.
So, we are, like I said, October 19th or 16th, 1992. We have Candyman, directed by Bernard Rose. Wow, I can't speak today. Bear with me. Fucking hell. Screenplay written by Bernard Rose, based on The Forbidden by Clive Barker, a short story in the Books of Blood series.
Hey, I know him.
Yep. He's done another. He's known for another franchise that I know we'll get to at some point in time. Produced by Steve Golan, Alan Poole, and I'm gonna fuck this up, Sigurjan Sigvatsson.
That guy.
France. Production company Propaganda Films and Polygram Filmed Entertainment, distributed by Columbia TriStar.
He's from Iceland, by the way.
Oh, there you go. That sounds about right. Budget, I don't know. Couldn't find it. But the box office was $25.7 million. And of course my phone had to give up at that exact moment.
Just give up.
Because, you know.
Although $25.7 million sounds about right.
Well, the opening weekend, it was third, behind Under Siege.
Yes.
In its second week, Last of the Mohicans in its fourth week, The Mighty Ducks in its third week,
which we will get to,
and then of course we will, and then of course Candyman, and then which was new that week, as well as Consenting Adults, which was new that week. I've never seen that movie, but it does sound slightly familiar. Ironically, below that is Mr. Baseball, another fantastically weird movie. So that was that weekend. Candyman didn't exactly set the world on fire, nor would you expect it to. Simple, straight-up horror movie. So the cast is Virginia Madsen playing Helen Lyle, Tony Todd as Candyman, the titular villain, Xander Berkeley as Trevor Lyle, Kazi Lemons as Bernie Walsh, Vanessa Williams as Anne-Marie McCoy, and Dejuan Guy as Jake. So, whoa, okay, my phone is supposed to be on silent. I apologize, folks. Yep, my phone has the Halloween theme. It has for a while, so it's not just because of this.
Accidentally topical.
Right? I have a lot of horror stuff on my phone, so deal with it. Okay, so things in the production was interesting is that they the original book is actually set in Liverpool, England. So completely different, because I do own the Books of Blood, so I did read this in advance of it, which is why I kind of like doing this podcast. I get a lot of good reading done. Next week I'm going to get a ton of reading done.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover, and I don't know if I'm going to get to it, but I'm going to get to as much as I can. So it was basically, it was set in Liverpool, England, in another housing project, that was basically just, I think it might have been fictional for the book, I can't remember. Mm-hmm. The book is very different than the movie in itself, and I'll get to that going forward as we review the movie itself. I don't want to sit there and bog you down with all that info, so I'll just pop in every now and then. But they figure that it might have been changed to, I mean, it was clearly changed to America because it's, it was an American production, but it might have been changed to Chicago because of an actual murder of a woman named Ruth Mae McCoy, who was murdered in 1987 in the ABLA public housing by an intruder who entered her apartment through a hole in her bathroom cabinet, which plays very heavily into Candyman itself. So there's a very good chance that somebody was saw that and was like, wow.
Is that why one of the characters' last names is McCoy?
That's what I was thinking as well. I think it was sort of paying homage to that sort of thing, because it's kind of hard to, ignore that kind of deal. Originally, this I thought was hilarious. Eddie Murphy was originally the choice to play Candyman.
Sweet Christmas.